all 4 nerds in the UFC are having upcoming fights. And in this video, I'm going to be giving my early predictions to each one of their fights and breaking down their fights, okay? So let's get right into the video. Starting off with the fight that's coming very soon, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates, okay? This fight is going to be really action-packed. I see it coming. I'm going to go into each one of their strengths and weaknesses. So let's start off right away with Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal, his strengths are his boxing. He has a lot of power, a lot of speed, and very bad KO power, okay? It's insane. He's always pressuring, so when he goes through those little spurts where he pressures and throws those overhands and just those combos together and they land, that's really brutal. So he's really good at that. And on top of that, his kickboxing is really good. So not just his boxing, it's his kickboxing. His kicks are really hard, as we've seen in his past fights. And then his weaknesses would definitely be his all-around grappling. His takedown defense isn't awful, but like his jiu-jitsu is not the best, and his wrestling is not that good either. So that's definitely one of his weaknesses. Another one is the volume of strikes. He usually is weird because when he fights, he goes through those spurts, as I said, where he goes forward and he throws all those like that kind of a combo, but then he doesn't do anything else for a little bit. Throws a jab every once in a while, but he doesn't throw a lot. Like he throws one thing every once in a while and then waits. So he's gonna get outstruck. That's the thing. I think that if he was to pressure Carlos more, he would definitely win. So that's why I'm saying Carlos Prates is gonna win this fight. If Jeff would pressure him more and wouldn't just throw a combo every once in a while, he definitely would win. I could see, because he has a lot of power. But even if he did that, Carlos still has a really good chance of winning. His ability to check low kicks is really awful too. If you see his past fights, he does not check low kicks. That's really bad against Carlos. Carlos's low kicks are insane. He's always throwing them too. So that's another reason why I think Carlos has a really good chance of winning, because he's going to be breaking down Jeff's lead leg, and he'll be able to walk. And we'll have to see Jeff switch stances. So he needs to learn to check them kicks, because if he doesn't, it'll be a rough and long night for him. But moving on to Carlos, his strengths, Muay Thai. He's got tatted on his chest, bro. He has speed, power. For how skinny he is, he has a ton of power, bro. It's insane. His leg kicks, brutal for Jeff because he doesn't check them, as I just said. And his knees and elbows. He's definitely a Muay Thai fighter. He's always kneeing. Holy shit, his knees are like the best thing he has. He's knocked a guy out once with his knees. Or knee. It was one knee. But yeah, it's really good. His elbows are really sharp too. His overall kicking and punching is really good too. But his striking defense is also really good. He doesn't get hit a lot. He's always blocking. When he fought Ian Gary, he was always blocking. And he did really good. They both fought Ian Gary. I would say Ian Gary tried to take down Carlos a lot. He couldn't really take him down. Carlos reversed it a lot, and he couldn't take him down because he has really good balance and very good takedown defense. He has very good movement and head movement. His head movement's really good. As I said, he doesn't really get hit a lot. He also is always moving around the ring, so he's not likely to get knocked out at all. Like, I can't see it happening. And his chin's really good on top of that. His chin's really good. He's gotten clocked a couple times by Ian Gary. Ian Gary is a hard puncher, believe it or not. He didn't move. Like, he took it and kept coming forward, bro, and he kept fighting. Like, he was fine. Like I said before, his takedown defense on top of that is really good. So if Jeff turns into a wrestler, I don't think he will, but if he tries to, he won't be able to take him down. But then another thing of Carlos that would definitely be his weaknesses would be his offensive wrestling and his activity. So what I mean by that is his offensive wrestling is obviously terrible. You never really see him shooting for takedowns. He hasn't really showcased that in his fights. But his activity, he needs to throw away more. Same as Jeff Neal. So I don't know if this is going to end up being a boring fight and just it's going to go to decision. I think it's going to go to decision for sure. And one of them are going to win. I see definitely going to Carlos, because Carlos does throw more than Jeff does, okay? But Carlos needs to throw a lot more combos. Against Ian Gary, he didn't really throw a ton. I think because of the takedown threat, why he didn't throw that much. But I think in this fight, he'll do a lot better, and he'll also throw a lot more. They probably both will. But I think that Carlos would definitely get the best of the exchanges if they do exchange. Even though Jeff has a hard-ass punch, Carlos does too. And on top of that, Carlos has a great chin. Okay? But moving on to the next fight. Nasardine Immab versus Caio Baralo. This fight is going to be very action-packed. I'm really excited to see this fight. Immab, starting off right away with his strengths. Explosive combinations, his boxing is so good. He has hard punches, very explosive. He's chilling there 1 second, the next second comes at you, bro, and he can knock you out any second. He has some heavy hands, and his boxing overall is great. His kicks are pretty good too, but I would definitely say he's stronger with his boxing. And then on top of that, his takedown defense is really good. It's hard for him to get taken down. He hasn't really ever fought like a really like strong wrestler. So I'm excited to see how he does against Caio. I know Caio's not really a strong wrestler either, but he's a good grappler. So we'll see how he reacts to that. But his weaknesses, very vulnerable to leg kicks. He's very heavy on his lead leg. He's always like bouncing back and forth. And just his style of his stance, he's very vulnerable to leg kicks. So Caio, as you guys should know, he does a lot of leg kicks. So like I said, he'll be chopping his leg down the whole fight, which won't be good for Immab. His cardio is also terrible. He does not have good cardio. We've seen that in his fights. He needs to finish the guy right away, and if he doesn't, it's kind of rough for him. So that's not good for him. And overall, his grappling's not good either. So I think if this fight goes to the ground, it'll be absolutely over for Immab, and hopefully it doesn't go there for him. But moving on to Caio Baralo, his strengths. His IQ. They're called the nerds for a reason. He's smart. He breaks them down before the fight. He reads them in the fight. He's very calm. You can tell he's always thinking. His underrated striking. Everybody thinks that he's just a grappler. His striking is really good. He struck with Jared Cannonier. They both did. I know that Immab finished Cannonier. That was a shitty-ass stoppage. That shouldn't even be. That was the worst stoppage, like, ever. It was awful. Baralo, they didn't stop Baralo's fight with him. That makes a lot of sense. But he is very underrated striking, very great striking. His leg kicks are really good. His boxing is actually really good. And I'm excited to see how he does against a really good striker like Immab, and I think he'll do really good. But his chin's really good too. That's another good thing. So if Immab hits him real good, his chin's really good. He also has really good defensive wrestling. He won't really have to worry about that in this fight because Immab won't be shooting for takedowns. And if he does, the fuck, that's stupid. His BJJ, obviously everyone knows he has like great BJJ, way better than Immab. So if it goes to the ground, he's absolutely mauling Immab and probably gonna submit him. And if he gets on top of him, his ground and pound is really good. His ground and pound's scary, bro. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen some of his fights, but holy shit, if he gets him in like top mount, if he gets even in his guard, Immab needs to get up. Like, he needs to get up right away. And overall, he's just a really well-rounded fighter. Really well-rounded, very good. Yeah, he's good at everything. He can fight anybody anywhere. So whatever someone's good at, he can fight there. He could beat Immab in the striking, in my opinion. I think if they just go on the feet, which I don't see it happening like that, but if they would, I definitely see him beating Immab just in the striking because he's just like that. That's how he fights. But I would say there's not really many weaknesses out of Caio because he's really good. He's really well-rounded fighter. He's very smart. He doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses. The biggest weakness I saw was his chin positioning. So when he fights, he's like this. Up in the air. That's the only thing. He doesn't really get hit a lot. I mean, when he does, he can still take it. Immab's power, though, really good. Jared Cannonier's power is really good. He could take that, though. So I'm not really worried about the power aspect of the fight. Caio does keep his chin in the air. Not really good for any fight, but it works for him. So I'm not going to shit on it. But that's what definitely I'd say the weakness was. It was hard to even pick a weakness for him because he doesn't really have any. So that's why I think Caio Baralo is absolutely going to dominate Immab. He's going to... I don't know if it's going to be a finish. I'm going to break it down even more than this when the fight comes up. But he's going to absolutely dominate Immab. And he's going to show the levels. I don't even know how Immab is ranked as high as he is. He should be above Caio. Obviously because he beat Izzy, but it's washed Izzy. Woohoo. And for anybody saying that his striking's like better than Izzy, Izzy's washed. Izzy in his prime would absolutely maul Immab. So I don't want to hear it, okay? But moving on to the next fight.
Benoit.
Saying Denise versus Mauricio Ruffy. This fight will be easy, okay? This is probably the easiest fight out of the four, 100%. Denise, he absolutely got mauled by Renato Moicano. Like, fucked, like, badly. And I think Ruffy would absolutely maul Moicano. So, this fight won't be that hard, okay? I get Moicano has the grappling part. Denise has really good wrestling. I know Ruffy doesn't have like insane. Okay, well, we don't really know. He doesn't really showcase his grappling, but I think that Ruffy, it won't even go to the feet. Ruffy's striking's that good where it won't go to the feet. But let's start off right away with Denise's strengths. He's a strong wrestler. He takes down like everybody. He's really good. I couldn't do shit against Dustin Poirier though, so I can't see him doing shit against Ruffy. He's very aggressive. He's always walking forward, always trying to knock you out, take your lights out, take you down. Anything he can do. I think if it goes the full way, he will get gassed. Won't be good for him. He's very dangerous submissions too. But I don't think it'll go to the ground where he has to worry about that. But his submissions are good. He has finished people with his subs. But his weaknesses, his striking defense. That's really fucking unfortunate. His striking defense is awful. And he's fighting Mauricio Ruffy. So that's really unfortunate for him because Ruffy, he'll pick that apart very badly. And the biggest thing I've seen with Denise is that he tries to entertain too much. He doesn't use strategic fighting skills. Like, he just tries to entertain everybody and make everybody happy. You need to be smart a little. He doesn't use that IQ he has, okay? If he even has anything up there. He doesn't use that. He's just trying to entertain everybody, which is great. Which is really good for the fans, but for him, it's not good in the fight, you know? And it won't be good against Ruffy either. But moving on to Ruffy's strengths. Striking. Everything about his striking is beautiful. Probably, this might sound crazy, but probably gonna be one of the best strikers by the end of his career. He's fucking amazing. He fights exactly like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor 2.0. It's crazy. I love guys that fight like that because it's such an art, you know. Powerful and fast strikes. Whenever he hits, he's skinny. He still fucking hits hard, bro, and he's fast too. And another thing that I forgot to add on here is that he's very good at cutting angles. Cutting angles and hitting from different angles so you're not expecting it. He's very good at that, and that's why he knocks a lot of people out. And also another thing is his range. When he's at his range, he's the best, obviously. So Denise, I think, will struggle with getting in because he's not that good of a striker. He really will struggle to get in. If he tries to get in, Ruffy's good at getting out of there, so he gets back to his range. And he definitely doesn't want to stay at the range because the wheel kick is right fucking there. So good luck with that. And his weakness would definitely be vulnerable to takedowns, just because of his stance. His takedown defense is overall decent. Like, it's not terrible. We haven't really had seen much of him getting taken down, but his takedown defense is probably pretty good. And if he gets taken down, I think he'll be able to get back up. He is definitely not going to be a scrub on the ground. I don't think it'll go to the ground. But just because of Ruffy's stance, he's vulnerable to takedowns because he's very light. Not really good for sprawling or anything like that. But I don't see it going to the ground at all. And if it does, I think Ruffy's getting right back up. And I think he's like KO Denise. But that's why I have Mauricio Ruffy dominating Denise. Yeah, and I don't want to hear people say, oh, yeah, he's just going to take him down and just ground and pound him. Okay, Ruffy's getting back up, guys. He's getting back up. Straight up, okay? And once I get back to the feet, Denise is fucked, okay? But moving on to the next fight, okay? The fight that I'm most excited for and the fight that was very, very, very hard to predict on who I think is going to win. Diego Lopez versus John Silva. Guys, this fight will be very intense, okay? There will be a finish. I see it. There has to be a finish. Both these fuckers are aggressive, and they're like animals. Like, it's crazy, guys. They're insane. Diego Lopez strengths start off right away, aggressive fighting style, as everyone knows. He's fucking aggressive. But him against Volk, he didn't really show that much. He didn't really show that he was that aggressive, and Volk, a lot of people could debate that Volk won all rounds. I know at the end of the second round, Lopez did drop Volk, but Volk still won that round because he was dominating him before that. But it was clear that Volk won, and Volk is getting old. So and Lopez got dropped too. So like, and Silva hits way harder than Volk does. So I think it'll be a long night or fast night for Lopez. He has really good BJJ, so whenever he's on his back, he is good and he is dangerous. But I don't think he'll be going much to the ground, in my opinion, so I don't think either of them have to worry about that. He overall has fast hands and powerful striking. He's very, very, very tough. I'll give him that. But his weaknesses, he's susceptible to counterattacks. Every time he comes in, he drops his hands, he throws, drops the other hand, he gets clipped. Against John Silva, that's really stupid because John Silva's great at counterpunching. That's going to be very rough against him, and this is the worst guy to not be good at your counter attacks with, because he's going to get dropped because of that. His cardio against Volk, he kind of showcased that he has decent cardio, but in his past fights, he really didn't show that. And it's because the reason he had good cardio in this fight is he saved himself. He wasn't as aggressive as he usually was. But in this next fight, I can see him being very aggressive, losing the cardio right away. And overall, his striking defense sucks. And that's why he got dropped by Volk. He is not as good as everyone thinks he is. I think he's very overrated. I think Lopez will definitely get whooped by Silva. I don't think it'll be close. Silva's strengths, though. Powerful and creative striking. He has KO power. His elbows and knees are deadly. Okay, his elbows are scary, bro. And he overall just has really good striking. Creative striking. He gets in people's heads, talks to them a lot. He's very calm. But when he attacks, he fucking attacks, and he'll literally kill you, bro. It's scary. Very explosive. And I just see him overly outclassing Lopez. He's very good at counterpunching, like I said, so good luck, Lopez. I like Lopez, a lot of respect to him, but whenever he comes in, he will get dropped, because Silva's counterpunching is insane, and you're very susceptible to counterpunches, so good luck. And another thing is, Silva's very aggressive, and he is really explosive. Great takedown defense. I don't think Lopez will be going for many takedowns, but if he does, he won't be able to get him down. I can't see it happening. And he also has very underrated BJJ. They both have great BJJ. I would say that Lopez definitely is better at BJJ from his back, but all around, I would probably give it to Silva. Silva hasn't been able to showcase that much. He hasn't really needed to, because he finishes guys on the feet. But yeah, and then I would say definitely his weaknesses are his wrestling, offense wrestling mainly, but I don't think he won't get taken down in this fight, because Lopez isn't a wrestler, and if he tries to take him down, he won't be able to get him down. And then his clinch work. Whenever Silva gets in his clinch work, he gets uppercut a lot, which Lopez is really good in the clinch with his uppercuts, but I don't think he'll be going much to the clinch. I think it'll be just a straight-out war. And I think someone's going to get KO'd, and that person's going to be Lopez, because Lopez chin didn't hold up in Volk's fight. But Silva's chin still fucking iron, so I think this fight will be an outclass on Silva's part. He will definitely outclass Lopez. I feel bad for it to happen, but he just will. But yeah, guys, that was this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I wanted to break down every fight, and I hope you guys understand and agree with me, because I broke it down to show you guys how they're going to win. You know what I mean? It's going to be good fights no matter what, but the nerds are next up, guys. I'm not saying that they're all going to become champions. I do see Baralo having a big chance, and I do see Silva becoming the next featherweight champion, 100%. Prates, I don't think is going to become champion, because I can't see him being JDM or really any of the higher up guys. Ruffy, his division's just so hard. That's the unfortunate part. So I don't think he'll become champ either, but he'll get up in their rankings. Never know for the future, though. He said he's going to be the first one to take out Ilya Taporia, so I'm excited to see it. But yeah, they're next up. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Comment more video ideas in the comments down below. I always got you guys, like I always say. And thank you for watching again, and have a blessed rest of your day.